point I got frustrated. I had to take the passport from her to search for it myself. So I even became scared. Was like, did I come in through the sea or what? I know I flew inside Nigeria, and I went through immigration. So how come? I started searching the passport, and I saw the two dates, my departure and my entry. And I showed it. I said, see, this is the date when I left, and this is the date when I came in. She was like, no. That date when I came in, the stamp there is for people that are leaving. That means the immigration officer that stamped me in used the stamp for people that are going out. So it was a big problem. She was like, this thing has happened to her in the UK, and she had to be detained at immigration for over 2 days because they felt it was fake. Okay, so I set my sight on Canada, my next agenda, since US has failed. So this time I didn't want to stress myself, so I didn't even bother. I looked up an agent. I said I didn't care what it cost. I'll just pay you. Just do the thing, and just let me know when my admission is secured, so I will just go. So I paid for the process and everything, and they started working on it. Towards August, September, I guess, that was when countries started opening up. I guess towards September or so. Embassies started opening up. Airports started opening up. The agent called me that I've gotten my admission for Canada. I was like, wow, it seems things are working out for me now. I think Canada is the next place to be. So they were like, I'll start my visa application come January, because I think the admission I got was for summer 2021. So I'm supposed to start my visa application by January, so that at least before March, April, I'll get the visa and travel to Canada to start up my program by summer. And that was the plan. So I had this friend in the United States that chatted me up a while at that time, and she was like, won't you apply for US again? I was like, I beg, carry your US and go. I'm not more interested. I don't want to stress myself at all, that I've set my sight on Canada right now. But she was quite persistent though. She was like, try, apply again. That's why it's good to have those kind of friends.
Yeah.
No, she really motivated me, and I was like, okay, I'll just try. But I wasn't promising anything. I was like, okay, I'll try. And that was it. I had to defer my fall admission to spring in order for me to apply again.
That's which the one you got in Canada?
No. The one I was denied for earlier in March.
Okay.
The one I was denied for was supposed to be for fall semester.
Mm-hmm.
So since I didn't get the admission, I had to defer it to spring of 2021.
Since you didn't get your visa approved, you had to defer. Okay.
Yes. So I deferred for spring of 2021. Now the problem was, U.S. Embassy opened up in Nigeria, yes, but they don't have dates. All the dates they had was like March of 2021. There were no dates within that ending of 2020. So it became a problem, because that was not how I could come to the US if I don't get a date for visa. It became a problem. So the only option was to apply for emergency appointment. And I also knew that if you've applied before and you got rejected, you might not be eligible to be approved for that emergency appointment. And I fell in that category, so I was worried and scared, but I was like, okay, I will just give it a shot. I prayed over it anyway, and I applied for the emergency appointment. I think I applied on a Wednesday, and on the Friday, I got a mail that it was approved. I was like, wow. is this a sign? Is US is US really
Fine.
meant for me? You know, I was like, well, since it's happening like this, let me set my sight once more on US. Let me try it again. You know, I now applied for a visa interview date. So I got December the 2nd for my new interview. Then I think that was when I came across your video on YouTube. You know, that was when I started watching you. So I really took my time to really watch your content, and it really helped me a lot. You know, I actually have a notebook where I wrote everything down. As in, I was very focused this time around. You know,
Oh my God.
I was like, if I lose this one again, it's on me. I needed to make sure I was ready for that interview. You know, when you talked about practice, if possible, 3 times a day, you know, talk to yourself in the mirror, you know what you want to say, make it personal,
Yeah.
you know, be calm and tell your story, you know. So I think I was practicing like 2-3 times a day, every day,
Wow.
every day. You know, I made sure that everything I needed to say, even if someone wakes me up in the middle of the night, I would say it right there and there. You know, it had to be part of my consciousness, not trying to remember. Because once you're trying to remember, it becomes a problem when you're in front of the video. That is it. You know, so I prepared myself very well, and the visa day came. The visa interview day came.
So now
Once again,
us. So, sorry to cut you short, guys. This is
yeah,
us talking about his second visa experience. This time at what embassy?
same Abuja.
Abuja embassy. Okay, first
Because
time.
I already had information that it's not always good to, you know, try to change it and change that. You know, these guys are crazy. When there is so much changes, it becomes a problem. So I had to make sure I stuck to what I did before, so it to be consistent.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was it. I got to Abuja on the 1st, lodged in a hotel as usual. I made sure I practiced the night before. Even before then, I did lots of meditating. I did lots of reading. I actually went through personal development because of this thing. Seriously, it made me. I'm serious. It made me grow to an extent that I was even surprised at myself. You know, it made me change a lot. I believe it was destined to happen that way. You know. I got to the embassy once more that morning. You know, this time around now, only people that have emergency appointment comes for their visa interview. So this time around, people were not much, just very few. I don't think we were more than 5 or 6
Wow.
thereabouts in the whole embassy that morning. You know, so the whole thing was very easy. So on my check-in, in the first, you know, that first session where they will check your passport and give you some books, and then you enter, you remove your belt and shoes and everything. At that place, one of the ladies there asked me for my passport. I gave it to her. She asked me, have I traveled out before? I said yes. I listed where I've traveled to. So she was not going through my passport. She was like, when I traveled to, I think it was then, when I traveled to China, she was like, how did I enter Nigeria? In my mind, I was like, what kind of stupid question is that? Is the stamp not there? In my mind, I was just saying it. She was like, how did I enter Nigeria? The entry stamp is not in my passport. She was just going through my passport, trying to locate it. I was like, it's there now, check it. At the point I got frustrated, I had to take the passport from her to search for it myself. So I even became scared. I was like, did I come in through the sea or what? I know I flew inside Nigeria, and I went through immigration. So how come? I started searching the passport, and I saw the 2 dates, my departure and my entry. And I showed it. I said, see, this is the date when I left, and this is the date when I came in. She was like, no. That date when I came in, the stamp there is for people that are leaving. That means the immigration officer that stamped me in used the stamp for people that are going out. You know. So it was a big problem. She was like, this thing has happened to her in the UK, and she had to be detained at immigration for over 2 days because they felt it was fake. I was like, wow. Because normally you don't check those things. You just give them your passport, they stamp, you take it, and you're off.
You go.
Yes, you don't check whether the plane is coming down in the stamp, or because if the plane is going up, it's for departure. If it's coming down, it's for entry. So the both stamps were going up. So it was like I left the country twice.
Wow. So this is very
in 1 week.
I hope you guys are listening and you're taking notes, because it might look like it's nothing. It is only when you get to that position you realize that thing can even spoil your mood for that day and your interview.
Exactly.
Just so please be looking at your visa, your passport, whenever it is stamped. Please ensure that you look at it to be sure if it is the right stamp that was used. If it is not, so that you can fix it immediately. This is very new, very vital information.
Yeah. So I took my passport and I went in, lined up. We didn't even take long, so we just got to my turn immediately. And that day I was working in full confidence. I was a different person.
Yeah.
Like I was working as if I owned the embassy myself.
Yes.
I was how confident I was. Because I was sure that any question they asked me at that time, I was going to answer it confidently. So I got there. The guy that interviewed me was.
How were you dressed the first time and how were you dressed the second time? Was there any difference?
Nothing different much. Just the same shirt and a pant trouser. But the second time around, I dressed the shirt I wore the second time was more bright.
Okay.
Than the one I wore the first time. The first time I wore a sky blue shirt. They always tell you when you're going for an interview, wear your sky blue shirt or your white shirt. But then there's something about that sky blue shirt. It's the same shirt that people that works at the embassy wears.
Oh, rude.
Right? I noticed I was like, wait, this might degrade my level, Sha. But they will see me as one of their employees. I really felt bad at that first time, Sha, but I was like, I'm here already. There's nothing I can do. The second time I made sure I wore something very bright. Once they see me, they know this guy is here. So I think I wore a shirt with a combination of yellow, white, just bright colors, and a pant trouser with a normal leather shoe. And I had my file pack with me. So the guy that interviewed me was a white guy. He called me. I walked boldly to him. In fact, I was looking at all of them eyeball to eyeball. I wasn't trying to look down or trying to observe the situation. I was so calm, collected, So I got there. I was like, hey, how are you? How you doing? They were like, hey, good. I'm good. How are you? I was like, I'm fine. So I just stood there. He asked for my passport and my I-20. I gave it to him. He now said I should keep my file on top of the surface there because I was carrying fast. So I just dropped it there. So he started typing, normally. Then he asked me, where am I going to? I said I was going to United States to study for my master's program at the University of Central Oklahoma. He said, where did you graduate from? I answered, University of Lagos with a CGPA of blah, blah, blah. I learned this from you. So I had to be specific. I had to be specific so he knows where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
He was not like, okay. He now looked at my information. He was like, you studied
health
what
science.
did you used to study? He was trying to know what I would say. I was like, yes, that's health science. Health science, what's that? I said, well, it's health related. It's all about you. I forgot what I said, Sha. And I said, okay, so what do you do now? So I said, I'm a what they said I was doing. So I said one thing because I was working on my father's company, so it was not as if I had a special position.
Yeah.
I had the privilege of being the son of the owner, so that eventually made me the owner.
Yeah.
I think I used. I was the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, something I used. Yes, and I told him I was the chief financial officer of a steel company. It's located here in Nigeria. Like, okay, so what do you guys do? So I told you that we sell construction materials, for all sorts of construction, blah 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 blah. And I said, okay. So he now said, who will sponsor me? This time around, I said I'll sponsor myself. But there was an inconsistency. My I-20 stated that my family would sponsor me, and I said I'll sponsor myself.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was filling the form for the I-20, I stated that I would sponsor myself. But the person that filled the I-20 made the mistake and still put the same thing I put in the first I-20.
There.
You see, so I said I was sponsor myself because I was bold about the way I said it. I said I just said as per the tuition fee and the living expenses, I'll be the one to take care of all the fees. Then I now continue to say that I think the person that typed the irony made a mistake, because I think they said my family over there. I said, "Oh, are you serious?" And I said, "Okay, maybe that's the way they represent it. Whether it's you or your family, they just say it's family." I was like, "Okay, fine." So I made sure I pointed that out, so that he will not think that I'm lying and denying, the way these people think. Okay, so what else did he ask? I think he asked what course I'm doing. I told him MBA. But now, like, okay, so why did I choose the school? And I started explaining. I talked about the professor that got me interested in the course. I was just explaining. And one thing I noticed is, and it's very important, most times people tell you to be concise with your answers, make it short and straight to the point. I don't think that is entirely right, because in a bid to make your answers concise and short, you tend to rush your answers. And when you're rushing and you have this fear, it becomes a problem. You start to talk what you don't know about, and they will just sense that anxiety in you. So what I always tell people is tell your story, no matter how long it is. Once you're saying it, and you're moving from one stage to another, trying to explain your circumstances, once they're satisfied with what you're saying, they'll stop you and ask you another question. That was what I noticed, because mostly all the questions he asked me, I just keep talking calmly and collectively. He will tell me, okay, stop. You ask another one. I'll start saying again. You tell me, okay, stop. You ask another one. He didn't ask me for one document at all. Not one document. My file was
for your bank statement, but this time
yes,
they did not ask for any.
Nothing at all. Nothing. So he was now like, okay, your visa is approved, blah blah blah. I know I wouldn't shake because I knew definitely I'm leaving here with my visa. How? Why wouldn't they approve it? In my mind, I was like, of course you should. So they approved my visa, and they gave me the white paper and every other thing. He asked me to return after 3 days to collect my passport. So I now left. I left and I traveled back to the east the next day. When I was already about to board the plane the next day to travel back to the east, I got a message that my passport is ready.
Wow, that was quick.
Very quick. I couldn't go back because I was already boarding the plane to leave, so I had to just leave. Then I stayed for probably 2-3 days. Then I came back again to Abuja to pick up my passport. Then that was it all.
Who did you
I was very happy
that your visa was approved?
Who did I even call? I think it was that my friend that stays in America here. I called. I was like, "See, it has happened though."
It has happened.
She was surprised there. The whole thing was I kept it to myself. Like, even she didn't know I went for that interview. It was until I got the visa that I told her. I just took it upon myself to do it my way. Because most times they tell you if you want to achieve some things, you just need to disappear.
Yeah.
Take it upon yourself to achieve that goal. So that is what I did, and it worked out for me. So the visa fees is gone. Now we've got the visa.
So
The next
now
bit,
this is us moving on from having your visa denied the first time and going for a second visa appointment and having it approved. So what now happened after, the whole visa phase? What happened? How was your preparation? What happened? We want to hear all of that story.